Titanfall 3 will fail, but it doesn't have to. Quake, Tribes, and Unreal Tournament. These were the major fast-paced movement shooters back in the day. They are what Titanfall came from long ago, but due to not adapting to modern-day gaming, they died out. Several attempts were made to bring each of the titles back, but each of them ended up failing. Quake Champions came out in early access, later became free-to-play, and now barely even able to make it over 500. Tribes Ascend, released by Hi-Rez Studios, came out in 2012, and was delisted entirely in 2018. Lastly, Unreal Tournament, made by Epic, the creators of Fortnite, a multi-billion-dollar company. Their flagship title for releasing game engines is no more. An Unreal Tournament reboot was released in alpha in 2014, but due to the success of Fortnite, in 2018, Epic declared the game was no longer being developed. In January 2023, the game servers were fully shut down. These were the top games back in the day, and today, anything similar to them can barely hold a candle in the multiplayer arena to what's available. They were from a time before it was normal for Snoop Dogg to gun people down while Master Chief uses a Minecraft pickaxe on Kratos. What's crazy is Snoop Dogg shooting up people is from Call of Duty, a realistic military shooter aimed at telling the stories of soldiers. Master Chief is a Microsoft property super space soldier, who is now using a pixelated pickaxe from a virtual LEGO game attacking a god who is a property of Sony. Gaming is far more casual now, far more expensive, and far easier to get into. Let's look at the top shooter games out now. Fortnite, COD, Apex, PUBG, Valorant, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2. Of those, a few of them are older games, but the vast majority of them are newer. Counter-Strike and Team Fortress were both from 1999 as mods. Later, they became fully fledged games. PUBG was originally a mod for Arma 3 in 2014. This ended up being released in 2017, and was the introduction of the Battle Royale genre. Then Fortnite, COD, and Apex are constantly updated to the point their original releases are nothing like their current state. They play into trends, are highly adaptive, and provide players with a fun sandbox kind of experience in order to appeal to the widest audience possible. They take advantage of a player's psychology, providing quick and easy dopamine and feeling relatable. But this comes at a cost where the quality of the game is sacrificed and the cost to the player is increased tremendously. Games today are expensive, and often are a live service. Developers attempt to lock you in by playing into FOMO and the need to feel included. As a result, players spend more than they would like to admit, often not knowing how much they spend, only saying, it wasn't that much. Looking at Fortnite, COD, Destiny, Overwatch, all majorly successful follow a similar formula to cause players to invest vast amounts of time and money into them in order to make escaping them tougher and tougher. To the point, most players only play one game, the one they've been paying for over and over again. This makes them feel like they can't leave, and whenever they do, they have to learn an entirely new game, which they may not be as good at. The older a game gets, the more is learned about it, and the more a meta develops. This causes a skill gap to form where the longer someone plays, the more likely they are to beat anyone else, to the point where any new player who joins has a mountain of knowledge to learn just to be able to compete at the lowest level. The higher this mountain, and the longer it takes to learn, the more likely they are to outright leave the game. This causes good games to die out because the game never grows beyond its initial release. For every one person who decides to stick it out and learn every complex mechanic, there's a number of people who leave to try any other option, which is far more easier. As a result, people will flock to games which let them succeed as quickly as possible. This leads them to wanting to spend money on the game because it feels like a worthwhile experience. When they look outside of the game for other options, they realize they can't take the things they bought with them, and all of the skill they built up in the current game will have to be relearned entirely if they join a new game. This results in players who are trapped in their current game as though it's an abusive relationship. What does this mean for Titanfall 3? Titanfall 3 will need to provide gameplay that is intuitive enough for new players and casuals, while also being fulfilling enough for hardcore players. It needs to provide a value experience that is worth players taking a break from their current game to try out and potentially move over. Lastly, the skill floor needs to remain low enough new players can feel the dopamine hits of the game without needing to master it, while also pushing them towards wanting to master the game. Thank you for listening to my talk. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm currently looking at how I produce videos for you guys, because right now I upload daily clips, and once a week I make a longer video like this. I'm figuring out if I should keep the daily clips or focus entirely on the longer, more edited videos and make them more often for you. Leave a comment down below if you have a suggestion, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, bye 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 bye.